Now let's join your commentary team with Joachim Winkelhock, special guest from the BMW Snitcher team, Glyn Taylor and Wayne Munro.
Yes, well, the Fastway Couriers at Porsches, as you see, down on the start grid. The number 5 car you see right there, that's the Brian Peace car, really figured very, very well in the race yesterday. Was second place in the race eventually, had qualified extremely well. But the grid there, you'll see a gap on the grid, and that's because one of our lead runners unfortunately disappeared off the track yesterday. Graham Cameron discovered that the nasty chicane down at the bottom of Jervois Key is not the place to get a little bit loose, and went for a big way. Let's look at the grid now for the Fastway Couriers race. There we go. Brian Peace. Well, the man we just said, Graham Cameron, not appearing in this race. The 9442 damage to race. Owen Evans from Auckland in the 911 RS. Ray Williams, one of the top contenders and a winner here last year. It starts position 4. Patrick Hodgson comes back from a crash last meeting to be 5th on the grid for this one. Gray Mathias from Auckland in 6th in his career RS. Kevin Palmer from one of the smaller classes, right up there amongst the big boys, 7th spot on the grid. Peter Shardlow, 8th place, 911 RS. Carlos Cavallo, Porsche Career RS, 9th place. Ollie Newbegin, the man who came and crashed his Career RS here last year, 10th spot. Mike Hampton, another similar car, 11th. Mark Wilkinson in 12th. And that's our field for the Fastway Couriers Porsche race. So there we see the number 2 car, Brian Peace, Ray Williams just cruising around there. Brian Peace, the man he's got to try and beat off the start line. Now, Joachim Winkelhock joining us up here. Now, Joachim, you actually got racing in this class quite some distance back in Germany.
I think this is a very good kind of motorsport, because with relatively low budget you can make, how I say, a good motorsport. Also very good for the spectators.
And Glyn Taylor, just tell us about the battle between these guys up here. Ray Williams in the number 2 car. This should be a very, very keen battle as they get off the line for the start of this race.
Yeah, the guys up the front here are getting really, really fierce. With Graham Cameron out, unfortunately knocked the bottom off his radiator going over the curb, so he's out for the race. There's actually a gap at the front there, so Ray Williams and Brian Peace should dive out in front, but poor old Owen Evans is going to have to try and get through that gap.
Well, Owen Evans, as you say, right tucked in behind the Brian Peace car, which is on the left of the screen. He has the pole position with the kink in the front straight, just curving off to the right, just a few hundred meters beyond the start-finish line. So as they run up to the front straight now, coming around there, we're looking for a good start from Brian Peace from Auckland. He's, as he says, he's got to hold back Owen Evans right behind him. Owen was the man who came through to win yesterday's race from Brian, from Ray Williams, and the other contender in that, of course, was the man who's missing from the grid, Graham Cameron, a man who's had a bit of an unfortunate history here at Wellington, having kissed the walls rather heavily in his same 944 back 2 years ago. So there we are for the grid. They're very close to a start time, 5 seconds, so we're looking for a green light any moment now. Now, let's just see what happens. Can Brian Peace hold off the charge from Owen Evans? Right behind him, you see Owen's pulled a little bit to the right of him. Watch the power go down now, and Brian Peace has actually done a very, very good job, because he's got away very cleanly, and the big fight is between Ray Williams on the right and Owen Evans. And Ray Williams also manages to keep the squeeze on Owen Evans, who has to go wide. He's going to look for the left-hand line out of this, but no way, has to settle for 3rd. Looked like there was a bit of panel damage further back there in that race as they went around the hairpin, but out onto the waterfront, out of the waterfront rather, and down onto Jervois Key as they go through there. We're looking at the top 4 runners right there. Glyn Taylor.
Yeah, we've got Brian Peace out in front. It's got the power going down the straight in the turbos, with Ray Williams right behind him. Owen Evans will be a little bit better under brakes, being a little lighter car. We've got Patrick Hodgson just behind him, another identical RS that's fairly good under brakes as well. So it's anybody's race yet.
Well, these three really still seem to have the running on it right now. Brian Peace coming under attack there from Ray Williams at the end of Cable Street. Round through the right-hander there, left-hander they go. Now the right-hander, Brian Peace doing a good job. He's certainly come to the front of this class, hasn't he, Glyn?
Certainly has. Brian started a couple of years ago in one of the smaller classes in 911 SC. He's moved up to the turbo this year, and he's handling it very, very well.
These guys three nose to tail. Now, Joachim Winkelhock, how close is this racing relative to the sort of stuff you used to do back in the Porsche Cup in Germany? Much the same, I would think.
Yes, like in Germany. It's very close together, the cars, and you can see the first car, he took not the ideal line, we say in Germany the fight line. He closed always the door, and I think he makes in the moment a very good job, because it's very important to be in front, especially on this track here, because you have not so much possibilities to overtake a car.
So Brian Peace, you would say, doing a very, very good job, Joachim. He looks like as he heads down into the Coca-Cola hairpin, he really gets the pressure from Ray Williams, who in turn gets the pressure from Owen Evans in third spot. So these three really breaking away from the rest of the field, despite the big battle they've got right here. Now, this is where the fight is, that's for sure. And what we're going to see happening now from here on in is the brake situation and the tyre situation going to come into place, because Ray Williams really looking for monstering the back end of Brian Peace's Porsche, really trying to find a way through. Glenn, what do you reckon is the balance of power here as the tyre situation really starts to take an effect?
Well, same as yesterday, the 930s are a lot heavier and they've got a bit more, well, a lot more horsepower, but the little RS only weighs just over 1,000 kilos and it's about 220 horsepower, so it hangs in there. But it's deceptive how fast these cars are. They're actually, they could have, all three of these cars could have qualified in the top 10 on the grid for the main race yesterday, and that's on standard Bridgestone RE71R rubber and bog standard cars.
Well, look at Brian Peace smoking the tyres there as he gets away from the ASB Bank sweeper, really trying to stay clear of these guys. Now, Joachim Winkelhock, they've actually introduced a handicap system to this class that is similar to the sort of thing that you're well used to in the German touring car champs. It makes them from very exciting racing, doesn't it?
Yes, because the cars, you can see, nearly the same, but Peace get a lot of pressure from Williams, and I think it's only a question of the time. He has the possibility to pass the Peace.
So Joachim Winkelhock, our expert commentator up here at the moment, predicting exactly this as Ray Williams tries to get round the outside there. He'll be looking to dive to the left there, Joachim.
Owen Evans has got through on Ray there.
It was impossible in the outside to overtake, especially in this hairpin. He must try to be better on the brake, and he must took the inside. Outside is normally not possible.
Well, he definitely paid the price there, didn't he? Because he tried that, it didn't work at all, and of course he lost his ground. But here he comes trying to attack back on Owen Evans. Is he going too fast? He gets it really crossed up into the chicane. He just manages to hold on to it. A nice piece of driving there, Joachim.
It was very, very good. Really like a professional. Very good.
Ray Williams, of course, is like a professional, and so too are the other guys here, but Ray has so much experience. Let's look at the Iowa replay down there into the chicane as we see Ray get the tail out. He's just got by Owen Evans and almost into the back end of Brian Peace. Very nice job, Ray Williams.
That was brilliant driving by Ray. Ray's probably the keenest of these three. He actually hasn't won a Bridgestone round this year, and he's really got the red eye down now.
Well, you see, Brian Peace is actually clocking really smart times. 1 minute 42.9 second lap that he just put in just after that. You can see that he's taking the pressure from behind, but this is the sort of pace these guys are running at. Would have put them very well up the grid for the Nissan Nova 500, as Glenn said before. Look at this. Ray is right on the back bumper of the Peace car yet again as they come back towards the front straight. Just across Dunlop Bridge, now onto the front straight. Here comes Brian. Here comes Ray and Owen Evans. Let's see what he can do this time, if he can learn anything from what Joachim Winkelhock told us he should be doing down here. Well, both of them getting brake lockups big time there. Brian Peace and Ray Williams. Look at Peace put his boot into it as they leave the Coca-Cola hairpin. Owen Evans will be enjoying this, because I think he must be able to see it's going to be fun. He's going to have a chance. Here we've got an Iowa replay here from the Coca-Cola hairpin. Let's look and see what happens here. Big lock-up out there.
That's actually a replay of a different incident. That's Oliver Newbegin and Carlos Cavallo coming through. It's Carlos Cavallo doing the spin there.
Wow, Carlos parking in a very expensive piece of motor car right there. Here's the other one now with our race leaders. Brian Peace gets it one way, then the other. Ray Williams tries to dive around the outside, get out of his way, and Owen Evans just sits back again. Owen, I really think, is doing a great job. Look at Brian put the boot in there.
Yeah, so I think Owen's sitting in the box seat there. He's watching these guys working very hard. Their tyres are getting very hot, and he'll be quite happy with where he's sitting, I think.
Joachim Winkelhock, who's your money on out of this race? Who would you pick to win? Well,
it's very difficult to say, but now you can see he gets really a lot of problems with the tire because he closed all over the door. I think the car behind the number 5 are a little bit quicker, but they have no possibility to pass him.
No, some very defensive driving here from Brian Peace, but Ray Williams trying everything. Look at that, you can see the contact, and he's put him in a wild sort of slide through that Dunlop bridge. Now, naughty boy Ray Williams definitely got on the back bumper, and now for his troubles, he's got Owen Evans trying to loom up on the inside. So down the front straight this time, across the start-finish line. Wait and see what Ray Williams can do this time. Great pictures there from our 3-cam, right up on the concrete wall as they head for the hairpin this time. Brian Peace, Ray Williams is going to do it. He's got through the inside, has he? No, he hasn't. He's still backed off. So Brian Peace really got on the gas so well out of that corner. He had lost it, basically, Glenn, and he came back and got it.
Yeah, Brian Peace is holding really well under pressure here. I'd hate to have Ray Williams behind me doing this to me, I'll tell you.
Let's look at this one. This is Brian Peace and Ray Williams rubbing bumpers. A nasty, nasty spot. That's Dunlop Bridge. Not a good place to be. Wow, look at him just grab it back. He would be one very angry man at that point. Down at the Coca-Cola hairpin, yet another incident. This time the same 2 players. Let's see what happens. Ray Williams gets the run, but watch Brian Peace come back at him on the right. Look at him. He gets the power down, squeezes him out. No way.
But so, this is motorsport what I like. It's really, really good.
Joachim, this really is some sort of a race these guys are turning on. Again, you see the contact between the bumpers as they go around ASB Bank Sweeper. Glenn, these, who's going to be in the best shape tyre-wise right now?
Well, Owen Evans has still got to be in the best shape tyre-wise, but to try and get past 2:9:30 doing this, he's really got his work cut out.
Well, especially when they're scrapping. And look at Ray! Ray gets it all crossed up as he comes onto the front straight. Sorry, off Dunlop Bridge. Man, this is getting very loose, so you can see how much the tyre problem is.
Owen Evans very sideways there too.
It's starting to happen with everybody. Watch this one. Ray Williams comes around there. You wait and see. Brian Peace right in the front. Watch Ray Williams in the number 2 car. Coming through the waterfront section of the Nissan Mobile 500 street circuit. Very, very exciting race from these boys in the Fastway Courier race. Harriers crossed right up onto the straight. Look at that. Leaves the big black tyre marks on the track just to show how bad it was. Last lap now. Now look at these guys. Okay, let's hear from our experts. Joachim Winkelhock, who's going to win?
It looks like Peace, but his big advantage is the acceleration, especially in the slow corner in the exit of the hairpin. But all 3 of them are really good drivers. You can see it. Well done.
Joachim picks Peace. He's taken the easy way out. What about you, Glenn Taylor?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the easy way too. I think I wouldn't like to have to get past Brian. And unless one of them makes a mistake, it's got to finish 1, 2, 3 like this.
Okay, I'll put my money on Ray Williams. You guys have left me no choice. Let's see what happens now as they count down the last half lap of this Fastway Courier Porsche series. Here we got Brian Peace in the lead. Ray Williams right behind. There comes Owen Evans. Owen's actually looking the best of them. He's really right on the back bumper of Ray Williams now. They take the Nissan Mobile chicane. You see the Peace car get a little bit crossed up there as well. He's really having to drive this thing, and as Joachim says, these guys, all fantastic drivers. Beautiful pictures we're getting here from our 3 cams all around the circuit. Wait for it, last corner as they head for the checkered flag. Here comes Brian Peace, followed by Ray Williams, and it's going to stay that way with Owen Evans 3rd. Here they come. Hold on to it, boy. You've got it in the bag. Brian Peace, 1st place. 2nd place, Ray Williams. Go back to Owen Evans, and they were miles ahead of everybody else in the whole field. Fantastic race, Joachim.
Congratulations for all drivers, because this was motorsport what we like to see.
It really was. Glenn, you've got to be proud of these guys who you race with regularly. You see them shaking hands there. Ray Williams and Brian Peace, they will have had a ball out there, I think.
Oh, they thoroughly enjoy their racing. The camaraderie between the whole of the Bridgestone troop is really great. It's got to be one of the best classes to race in of anything.
Well, you see Owen Evans also shaking hands there as well. These guys, I mean, that really is, you can't get it better than that, I don't think. In the 9:30, number 5 did a great job to win the Fastway Couriers race. Ray Williams second place, Owen Evans in third. There we go, Patrick Hodgson, a comeback from his crash. Ray Mathias in fifth, and rounding out our top 6, Kevin Palmer, a well done job by him. Joachim, nice job to have you with us here. Good luck for the race this afternoon. Thank you very, very much. We're looking forward to a race much like that. Thank you, Glyn Taylor.
Thanks,
Thank you, bye.